Hi, I'm going to take you on a tour of PhotoshopCS and creating Web 2.0 buttons. When I mean Web 2.0, I mean the glass effect buttons that you see, for instance, Windows Media Player. The buttons down here. I'm going to take you on a tour of how to actually create these in Photoshop. Okay, let's open Photoshop. Here's a finished example of a Web 2.0 button. As you notice, the glass effect and the icons. So let's start. Let's close this up and let's start. First, go in File, New. Let's create a dummy work area. Width 100, height 50 is good enough. Let's just start that. White background, RGB 8-bit, standard out of the box. So now let's expand this work area so that we can see it. First thing to choose is a rounded rectangle for the outline of the button. Just drag it to the size that you want. Now this is just a plain white label button. Now we're going to add some blending options to this rectangle. The first one we're going to add is the gradient overlay. We're going to give it that three-dimensional black to light grey effect. So we'll choose this gradient overlay, click on the gradient itself, and we'll give it 3 different points of gradient. As you can see, the gradient changed based on this third point. The second point, we'll just give it another black color, so we'll give it a very definitive black tinge to the gradient, and we'll end it with a grey rather than white to give it more of a shaded effect. Close that, and we'll give it a lighting effect to give it up. It emphasizes a 3D effect if you give it, and we'll do this via using the inner glow. As you can see, it gives it more of a clean effect, like a light shining onto the button. And we'll make this, say, 4 pixel width radius. Alright, and you can just play with it to see the actual effects. We'll give it 3 sounds good. Now that's the end of the first layer. We'll create another layer, which is the actual glass effect. So this is another rounded rectangle, and it's going to be overlaid about halfway down there, and it takes on the defaults of the previous settings of the rounded rectangle. So we'll change this back to no color, and if you had a color, change it back to white. Just something to start with, so that you can work off like a blank slate. So from here, we'll rasterize this glass effect. All we want is the shape, and now we're going to add as you can see, this tool here, we'll add a quick mask to it and a gradient. And what this does is make it a bit smaller. It allows you to mask out an area for deletion, so that you can give it that glass effect. You'll see what I mean when it's done. And once you're done, just click off the quick mask editor to the standard mode, and you've got this area that's outlined, and just click your delete button, and it deletes in the gradient mode that mask that you've just created. And if you just look at that at 100% resolution, there's your 3D effect. Now that's quite defined, the glass area here, so let's just change its opacity, make it a bit lighter, more pleasing to the eye. There you go. So comparing that to the Windows Media glass button, it's quite similar. So let's just quickly add some text to the button just to finish it off. We'll just put play, for instance. There you go. It's using WebDing or a refresh button. Make it more stronger. Should be good enough. And just move it, align it. You might want to change the opacity to give it more of a, the effect of Windows Media Effect. So there you go. Web 2.0 button, the glass effect, using Adobe Photoshop. Thank you.